Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Tuesday, November 11th, 2025. I am Bishop Darrell Watkins, the Senior Minister of the Sunshine Cathedral. With me today are Bishop Robert Griffin, Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, and Reverend Kevin Tisdall. We are the Queer God Squad. Visit sunshinecathedral.org to learn more about us.
Queer God Squad was created by Hotspots Happening Out to support our mission to explore the value of faith in the LGBTQ community. There is no streaming TV show like this in the entire world.
In 2025, we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Hotspots magazine, with Queer News Tonight sharing over 11,000 stories and 11 million views so far.
We are the largest nonprofit LGBTQ media organization in America, and we encourage you to support our mission to inform, entertain, and educate our community and allies.
This is the Sunshine Cathedral Perspective. This world-renowned African post-colonial feminist theologian is an advocate for LGBTQ+. Musa W. Dube, a Botswanan biblical scholar, post-colonial feminist theologian, and Methodist lay preacher, is strongly aligned with LGBTQ+ inclusive theology and advocacy. She's taught at the University of Botswana and is on the faculty at Candler School of Theology at Emory University. She is a scholar for whom sexuality is connected to other concerns such as race, gender, HIV, human rights, and climate change, placing queer advocacy and theology within a broad, progressive vision. Her work is often featured alongside other African theologians who denounce religious homophobia. Professor Dube's scholarship is foundational to African liberationist queer theological pedagogy, as her post-colonial feminist hermeneutics seek to deconstruct systems of oppression, including heteronormativity. Her academic focus on intersectional liberation theology that includes gender and sexuality makes her a key figure in the advocacy for LGBTQ+ people in Africa and globally. I first heard about Dr. Dube in a class with Kwok Puilong. She was teaching, I don't remember the class. It was probably my doctoral program, but anyway, I'm taking that class with Professor Puilong, and she's talking about Musa Dube. And refers to her sort of like in all these glowing motherly terms, and just made her seem so heroic. So then, of course, we have to read more things about her. Then she winds up, she was in Africa at the time, then she winds up, as does Puilong for a while, at Candler School of Theology at Emory University in Atlanta. Now, Puilong is now back at the Episcopal Divinity School doing programming there, but Musa Dube is still in Atlanta. So she is a brilliant theologian, also Bible scholar and preacher, but her thing has always been sort of the gospel from the margins, liberation theology, and in the context of intersectional issues. And so she was always sort of this voice for African women. Well, if you're going to speak about that, well, that's going to lead you to be concerned about other African issues. And that's also going to lead you to be concerned about other women's issues. And then that's probably going to open you up to understand about some economic issues and some queer issues and the environmental issues. And she's that person. She's that person who has used her theological scholarship and the reality of intersectionality to open up these discussions, to share her scholarship. And so it's just not Ivy Tower, academic, heady for a few people to talk about. This is about people's lives and how theology can improve those lives and how lives inform theology. She's absolutely one of the best for that. And she just seems so wise. I always think of her like hundreds of years old. She's actually young and beautiful and vibrant, and but she's just that wise, I think. And some of her books are small, easy to read. So if you haven't found her online, YouTube or whatever, you can read her books, and you'll be glad.
I think I met, was introduced to her about the same time when I was in one of Professor Spurlong's class around post-colonial theology, something like she was in one of her classes. And, again, just like you, described as this person, but when I think about Professor Dube, context of growing up and what she went through and what she probably experienced, it was probably very easy for her to speak from a lived experience as a teaching moment that people could really easily connect with what she had gone through and parallel that with lives that we live today, especially people on the margins. You know, to have someone who grew up in Africa, I cannot imagine some of the things she probably experienced. But to take and look through those lenses of apartheid, women's issues, poverty issues, hunger, healthcare, as it applies to women as well as to children, just all of it really does make her an ideal candidate continually to speak to issues about people who live on the margins and how you minister to people on the margins and what the impact of that is to the LGBT community who've always often been put on the margins by society, by politics, or by religion, and yet she becomes kind of that light in the wilderness. Like, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this.
The religions that fueled colonization are usually the same religions that fuel homophobia.
Yep. Right.
And so there's so being a post-colonial theologian gives her a special and unique insight into homophobia, transphobia, misogyny.
Right. And when you look at people's lived experience and how it then integrates into their own theology, I think if we look at that we have a broader perspective of theology and who people are. If I look at you and I see who you are, how you act, the way that you live, I can tell an awful lot about your God.
Yeah. How about
But hearing her story, it's like, that does not surprise me.
Yeah.
When Bishop Durrell started talking about this biblical scholar, post-colonial feminist theologian, I immediately thought about Professor Quila. Sitting, because I had the great honor of being in a couple of her classes, and to listen to people who have gone through hell and have come out on the other side ready and willing to help the rest of the world, that just makes you a very special person. And I've got to find out more about Dr. B.
If you look at my bookshelf in my office,
I will start.
You will certainly find some of her books.
Fabulous.
And that's today with the Queer God Squad.
Before we go, I want to invite you to check out our Performing Arts series. Sunshine Cathedral Center for the Performing Arts has a great acts lineup for the 2025 through 2026 season. Here is a taste of what's coming up.
On November 7th, we welcome back Miss Coco Peru. If this show is like her other tours de force, there will be storytelling, laughs, singing, and a moral to tie up the evening. Or maybe this one is entirely different. You'll have to come to the show to know for sure. But you already know it's going to be one of the best nights of comedy and drag artistry you will have enjoyed all year.
December 7th brings Matthew Darren's annual Holiday Fantasia, always amazing, and this year it will again be co-hosted by Varla Jean Merman.
And in 2026, there are already some great shows lined up, such as selections from Pearly, a musical based on the play Pearly Victorious by Ozzie Davis on February the 7th. For more information about these shows and others and to secure your tickets, go to sunshinecathedral.org/arts.
Please like and share this episode on your social media and look for Sunshine Cathedral on Facebook or Instagram.
You can also like our individual pages on Facebook. Remember to visit sunshinecathedral.org frequently. There you will find Bishop Talk, where Bishop Durrell and I interview queer religious leaders, activists, and scholars.
Thank you for joining the Queer God Squad today. We are here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ community is talking about.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's leading progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. Remember that we are all in this together. Also remember, you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad.